Hi, Virgo. What's unfolding around you right now defies the language you have for it because you've never experienced this particular configuration of events before. Your vocabulary was built for the life you've been living, not for the one you're about to step into. And that gap between what you know and what's coming creates a kind of holy silence. The space where words fail isn't emptiness. It's the presence of something so substantial that language collapses trying to hold it. Like trying to describe color to someone who's only ever known darkness. Or explain music to someone who's only known silence. Let me describe what exists at the edges of your ability to name it. You're standing at the threshold of a shift so complete that your old frameworks won't accommodate it. The stories you've been telling yourself about who you are and what's possible and how the world works, those stories are about to become obsolete. Not gradually, not with gentle transition, just suddenly irrelevant in the face of what's actually happening. Some people spend their entire lives in predictable patterns: wake, work, sleep, repeat, variations on familiar themes, safe trajectories they can forecast years ahead. And then something breaks the pattern so completely that the familiar becomes foreign. That's where you are, or where you're heading, to the place where your old normal becomes unrecognizable and your new normal hasn't stabilized yet. The liminal space, the threshold, the gap between who you were and who you're becoming. And in that gap, words fail because you're experiencing transformation that hasn't been processed enough to be articulated yet. Let's pause here. This reflection invites you to consider: have you been sensing something approaching that you don't have language for? Maybe it's a feeling you can't name. Not quite hope, but not quite fear. Not quite excitement, but not quite dread. Something that makes your chest tight and your stomach flutter and your hands restless all at once. You might be trying to categorize it, trying to fit it into known emotional frameworks, trying to call it anxiety or anticipation or something familiar. But it won't fit because it's not one emotion. It's the full spectrum compressed into a single frequency your body is trying to tune to. Or maybe it's events converging in ways you couldn't have orchestrated, things lining up with precision that feels almost eerie, coincidences that stretch the boundaries of what coincidence can reasonably explain. Some people call this synchronicity, the universe conspiring, divine intervention. But those are just words trying to contain something that exceeds containment. What it actually is: movement, momentum, multiple trajectories intersecting at exactly the moment you happen to be standing at the intersection. And the collision creates something none of the individual parts could have predicted, creates outcomes that weren't available before, creates possibilities that only exist because of this specific convergence at this specific time. This reflection invites you to consider: have you been noticing things aligning in ways that feel too perfect to be random? There's something specific about why this leaves you speechless rather than just surprising you. Surprise is when something unexpected happens. You didn't see it coming, but once it arrives, you can process it, can absorb it, can integrate it into your understanding. Speechlessness is different. It's when something arrives that your entire system doesn't know how to metabolize. when the categories you use to understand reality don't have a file folder for what you're experiencing. So your mind just stops, goes quiet. Not from shock exactly, from overwhelm that's so complete it creates its own kind of peace. You can't speak because speaking requires thought organized enough to become words, and what's happening to you right now exists before thought. In the place where experience hasn't been processed into narrative yet, some moments demand silence because silence is the only honest response. Words would diminish, would reduce something vast into something manageable, would domesticate the wild. And this moment is wild, untamed, bigger than your ability to shrink it into sentences. This reflection invites you to consider, when was the last time you experienced something so significant that words felt completely inadequate? Let me describe what speechlessness feels like in the body. Your breath changes, gets shallow, or stops altogether as you forget to breathe while trying to take in what you're witnessing or experiencing. Your mouth might actually open without sound. That literal gaping jaw slack, expression frozen somewhere between awe and disbelief. Time distorts. Seconds stretch or compress. You can't tell how long you've been standing there just absorbing, just being present to something that's reorganizing your reality in real time. Some people cry without knowing why. Not sad tears, not happy tears, just discharge. The body releasing something it can't hold, letting overflow what exceeds capacity. Or you might laugh, not because it's funny, but because laughter is what happens when wonder overwhelms composure. When joy or shock or relief or terror or all of them at once need exit routes your vocabulary can't provide. Or you go completely still, frozen, barely breathing, like movement would break the spell. Like if you stay perfectly quiet, this moment might extend instead of passing. That's what being speechless actually looks like. Not just not speaking, but your entire system pausing while it tries to comprehend what it's encountering. This reflection invites you to consider, can you stay present in moments of overwhelm without immediately needing to narrate them? There's something about what this speechless moment might actually contain. It might be love arriving in a form you didn't expect. Not the love you were chasing, but the love you actually needed. And the gap between what you thought you wanted and what actually arrived is so stark that all you can do is stare. Or it's loss revealing itself completely, not the initial shock of loss, but the full comprehension of absence. The moment when you truly understand that something or someone is gone and not coming back. Or it's success finally arriving after such long pursuit that you forgot how to imagine it actually happening. And now it's here and you don't know what to do with your hands or your face or your voice. Or it's betrayal so complete that your mind refuses it, keeps trying to make the information mean something other than what it clearly means. Keeps searching for alternative explanations because accepting reality is too destabilizing. Or it's beauty, pure aesthetic experience that bypasses thought entirely, sunset that stops you mid-step, music that hollows you out and fills you simultaneously. Art that speaks directly to some part of you that only communicates in feeling. Or it's recognition, seeing yourself clearly for the first time, understanding something about your own nature that recontextualizes your entire life, having your eyes opened to truth you've been blind to. Whatever it is, and only you will know what it is, when it arrives, it will exceed your ability to immediately process it through language. And that's okay. Not everything needs to be explained. Some things just need to be experienced. Let me address what you might need to do when speechlessness takes you. First, don't fight it. Don't immediately try to narrate. Don't rush to make sense or create story or fit it into framework. Just be in it. Let yourself exist in the wordless space. Let experience be experience before it becomes explanation. Second, notice your body. Where do you feel this in your physical form? What sensations accompany the inability to speak? Chest tightness, throat closing, stomach dropping, spine straightening? Your body is processing what your mind can't yet hold. Pay attention to that wisdom. Third, when words do return, and they will be careful with them. The first words you use to name an experience shape how you remember it, how you integrate it, how you carry it forward. Choose language that honors the magnitude rather than reducing it. Say, I don't have words for this yet, instead of forcing inadequate descriptions. Some people need to immediately explain everything, to pin it down with language so it feels controllable. So mystery becomes manageable. But controlling mystery kills it, and some things are supposed to stay mysterious, supposed to remain larger than your ability to fully comprehend them. You remain in complete control of how you navigate speechless moments. You can force words or honor silence, can rush to explain or sit with not knowing. The power is yours. It always has been. You may notice reading this has made you aware of something you've been experiencing that you haven't been able to articulate. Maybe relief that it's okay not to have words. Maybe recognition that yes, something is happening that exceeds your vocabulary. Whatever it is, honor it. Take what resonates. Softly release the rest. Trust yourself. Before we close, I want to ask you something. What's something you've experienced recently that you still don't have adequate words for? Drop it in the comments if you can even find language for it. And this, is it worse to experience something profound and not be able to explain it? Or to have the words but no one who understands? I have no words. And this reading will leave you speechless. Because what's approaching or already arriving in your life is bigger than the containers you have for it, bigger than your ability to immediately process it, bigger than explanation. And that bigness is the point. You're not supposed to shrink it into comfortable understanding. You're supposed to let it expand you into larger capacity, not eventually, now. In this unfolding moment, trust yourself with this. Trust that you don't need words for everything you experience. Trust that speechlessness is its own form of honesty. Trust that being overwhelmed into silence is sometimes the most articulate response to what's too vast for language. See you in the next one. And listen. The moments that leave you speechless are the moments you'll remember clearest because they were too real to narrate, too true to reduce. Stay in the wonder. Let words wait. Some things are meant to be felt, not explained. Take care.